Hey, Matthew Aaron here, and first off, I want to let you know you need to pay attention to this whole video because I'm not only going to go over the 5 primary sources of traffic, but I'm also going to reveal to you and basically to shed some light on everything that you really need in order to be successful. You need to know where to find your ideal prospects, clients, and customers. You have to know the ideal bait to offer them so that those ideal clients, customers, prospects, business partners, so that they come to you rather than you having to go hunt them down. I mean, can you imagine how great it would feel to have a line of people coming to you every single day wanting to connect with you and get more information from you rather than you having to track them down? Well, that's exactly what I'm about to reveal to you. The next thing you've got to understand is you have to have a plan of action that you want to take those people down before you get started. So you want to understand, who your ideal prospect is, what is it that they want and need, a problem that they're having. We're going to help them solve that problem, and then we're going to take them down a path that ultimately leads to where you want them to go. But we have to have the plan in place before you get started. So real quick, the ideal or the 5 sources of traffic. Now there's tons of sources of traffic, to be completely honest. I mean, um, we probably could seriously, if we really took the time, we probably could list out 150 sources of traffic on the internet. But there's 5 primary ones. Uh, Number one is social media, and by far right now the biggest and best place as far as social media, in my opinion, is Facebook. I've had tremendous success on Facebook. I've generated thousands and thousands and thousands of leads, most of the time completely for free on Facebook, which makes it that much better. So Facebook is one place where you need to consider um, marketing, right? Number two is YouTube. So if you're more, and just so you know, if any of these things that I go over with you, if you're like, heck no, I'm not ready for that, it's okay. What you want to do is identify one or two to start off with, and then as your confidence grows, you can then expand into other areas. So YouTube is another great one. Um, the next one is a blog. So, and this has this real quick one thing, if just to make some a light bulb go off in your head. Media today is very similar to media pre-internet. So, for example, back in the day, people used to go to like networking events and start connecting with people. Social media is like networking. It's just connecting with people. Especially, you want to connect with the right people. That if you're networking in out in public, rubbing shoulders and connecting with successful people is what you want to do. It's the same thing you want to do here on Facebook and on social media. So, old school networking, social media is new school networking. Back in the day, you would, pay for advertising on television, which would cost you a fortune. Now, essentially, you can create your own videos and get it out in front of tons and tons of people using YouTube. So, YouTube is a lot like television. Blogging. Blogging is just like newspaper. So, back in the day, you'd pay to have an article or some sort of some ad placed into a newspaper, costs you a lot of money. Nowadays, you can blog and get a ton of exposure to your articles for free most of the time. The next way is podcasts. So back in the day, you had radio. So you could pay for an advertising spot on the radio or something like that. Now you can actually do your own radio shows where you can. A good way to use a podcast is to connect with other, top, high people that are connect with people that are doing really, really well, and offer to interview them and basically promote them on your show, which is a win-win for both them and you. Okay, and then the fifth way, and by far the most important and the one that everyone should be doing, you, me, is email. Once all of these different sources, social media, YouTube, blogging, and podcasting, they all lead back to email. So again, if there's a good chance that you probably came across me on my blog, which you probably may have opted in here for the 5 sources of leads, right? And that's what you're watching right now. So now you've opted into my list. So now the ideal thing that you want to be able to do is control your list, right? So once you have all these, these are the 5 primary sources of traffic. Now the most important thing is understanding what bait to give them. For example, this was my bait, but you want to have other types of bait that you can give them. So you have to understand it's always going to depend on who your audience is and offering them something that they want and need to get them to take action down a path that you want to take them down. And then you have to have a plan in place to get them there. Now, to be completely honest, I was going to put together a course like everyone else does and charge you like $7 to get access to the first step of it, and then do some sort of upsell like everyone else does, for probably $97 or something like that. But right now, today, if you take action, I'm going to give you access to letting me help you get all the training done for free. Because to be completely honest, in order for you to begin having success, you have got to have the right things in place. You have to have an email autoresponder. If you have one, great. If you don't, I'm going to help you get one. I recommend Aweber. It's $1 to get started. And the second thing you've got to have in place is you have to have some sort of a lead capture page system. The one that I recommend is ClickFunnels. The training and the overall layout and how to use it and the functionality is by far the best and most easy to use that I've ever come across. That's the one I recommend. To be honest, I forget what the lower level of it costs. I think it's maybe like $39 or $49, something like that. But again, right now, if you're ready to learn how to know where to go fish, essentially, learn what bait to give them, and get ready to put together the exact path to take them down to ultimately take those prospects, leads, your ideal clients down the path to becoming business partners of yours, or to ultimately purchasing something from you. What you need to do is either email me back if you're getting this in an email, or if there's a button below, go ahead and click that button to get the next step, and I look forward to working with you.